What's going on, everyone? Third one for the day. So, I wanted to, first off, this video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. I wanted to talk, I briefly mentioned it in the past video, but about chakra spinning irregularly and relating it to homosexuality. I just wanted to speak about my experience and share what I have picked up on and where I am in my life in regards to that, because it is a part of all this astral stuff that's going on and how it affects down here, as above, so below. Let's get into it. So, I used to identify as gay. That was back in high school and then in university. And then at some point, during and then after my senior year, started identifying as non-binary and using he, him, they, them, and I was open to people referring to me as she, her, during that time. I was just really exploring my identity and my spirit and stuff. Then getting to a place of just using he, him, and being, finding comfort in liking other men, still falling under the gay category, but being open to I'd say no, yeah, just falling under the gay category, and then recently, not falling under that bubble and using he, him. What are some things that got me here? So and what have I seen that I believe has influenced me into falling under that category and thinking about my life? So at the end of 2023, literally December 31st, I made the promise to myself that I would not watch any more pornography and I would not masturbate anymore. And I haven't. And this is the first time in my adult life, or in my life period, after I started doing those low vibrational things, or I shouldn't, yeah, I'm gonna use that word, that I lasted. So I believe a couple of things. Because of that, and because of this spider spirit that then had a scorpion's tail at one point, and she was just digging into my astral body and throwing things away. I do believe she was digging in and literally throwing away these programs that have gotten infused with my astral body that I do not need anymore, that do not serve me anymore, that were never meant to be infused with my spiritual body. And I haven't had the tools down here, and I haven't had the strength to get rid of them on my own. So this spider spirit that then got turned into a little bit of a scorpion did that to my spiritual body sometime late during the fall, beginning of early winter of just 2023. So I think that, along with the Kundalini energy, has just made me question my sexual orientation in a different way. And because of all three of those factors, or four, the stuff that I just listed, ever since the beginning of 2024, I have had experiences where I'm seeing and experiencing, my father, this Rothschild, put me under spells, and I'm seeing inappropriate pornographic content of men with men influencing my astral body to the point where it's like some of these videos that I've seen, or actors that I've seen in these videos, are doing things that are low vibrational, and it's just happening all out in front of my face. Like if you were to take a picture and use one of the filters where, let's say this picture right now, it's just single. Instead of it being single, there's the option to have 100 of the same image that you're taking a picture of, and it's really tiny, but it's all, within this picture, but it's like a tree, but there's like 100 small images of a tree. It was like that, but with this pornographic actor that I came across at some point in high school, and felt some type of pull, let's say, to. And after that, I just started questioning. First off, why is my father in this situation? Why is this being the thing that I'm being shown by you? And is this a part of the reason as to why I came across this person's videos back in high school? Is all of that because of stuff that happened in the astrals? As above, so below. And me having this, curiosity, I'm just gonna be honest, with how I will say now, especially it being pushed in the media, speaking about, somebody's behind, usually a woman's, whether it be in music videos or sometimes in like these celebrity interviews. I'm like, where is this going, and I know when I was younger, I had this thought of just the male derriere, adult male derriere, when I was in like elementary school. And I've always questioned where that came from, because a part of me always knew that that was not natural. And I'm not saying, before some people say, whoa, you're being homophobic, having that thought as a young child, out of nowhere, unnatural. You liking whoever you want to like, you can like whoever you want to like. But the fact that that was the thought, and I'd picked up on it since early elementary, I'm talking first grade, second grade elementary, and there even being some moments I'm thinking back to when I think I was in kindergarten. Just where did all of this come from? And I now, after having that experience with my father, believe that these were spells being put on me, even without, let's say, the adult film content, just where my gaze should be. And where they want my gaze to be in regards to influencing my relationship with desire and sexuality as I grow. I believe that it was all these spells that I was being put under since I was adopted by them to influence me, in my adult life and here in the physical, with what they're doing when I was a kid and I'd just be sleeping, or taking a nap. That's a lot of time in the astrals. And so there's been that, to me having, more experiences where I'm seeing this inappropriate adult content again with some of these men that I've seen here in the physical online, but other people are doing some type of spell and that's what's playing out in front of me. And I'm just coming back to my body being like, damn, am I even gay? If this is something that you're influencing in regards to sexual content, was that thought of me wanting to be with a man even mine? Was that ever mine? Or was that a part of the influence in the astrals for me to then take on here in the physical, with the more disconnected I got from myself and my divinity and balance inside and on the planet? So after asking myself those questions, I gave myself time. I didn't figure this out over a day or over a night, but really allowing those questions to marinate inside my body and my soul. And I do believe that I have been influenced in the astrals since I was adopted, whether it has specifically been by the person or people that adopted me or other people who I have come in contact with. But the more that I, ever since, January up to now, started saying, I just want to return to balance. I want balance. I want balance and harmony. That's it. I want balance. And the more that I say that, and the more that I hold that, the more I meditate on it, and I go within, I see myself with a goddess. The image of the Anunnaki goddesses keep pulling through. I've also had, the experience where my soul self said, you have no reason to be afraid because you're the one under the mask, getting me to come back down here to work on all of the childhood stuff that I suppressed in regards to this LGBT bubble, and lack of love that I was able to provide for myself because I chose fear. And gosh, I had one more point. I'm going to say, and experiencing in my adult life, my chakras spinning irregularly. I felt it once here in the physical when somebody said the F slur in regards to, homosexuals. And I just felt my chakras begin to turn to the left rapidly from the base of my spine all the way up, right and up. And I just thought, that was bizarre. And then there's been a time in the astrals where I was on this spaceship and I began levitating up to open up the spaceship because space is in the waters. And it was basically a submarine. And I was going to open it up. But before I did that, one of these Pleiadian men that was on the ship, bigger boned people, said, Ryan, come back down. And whatever he energetically did, after saying that, my chakras then began to spin irregularly. And I had these thoughts come in my mind. I just want to get it on with a man. And then I felt that, without these other beings saying those words that this Pleiadian said, but sending out that energy and my chakras being affected in the astrals, where I then feel the impulse of wanting to explore another man's body. But now, in those moments when they do that, I am experiencing myself say, I want to return to balance. I want to return to balance. I want to return to balance. I want balance. And that's me fighting. And it's still, that energy is being sent towards me, but it's not having the same effect that it did prior to this year. Or I should say fully in the way. I still, that energy is still, affecting me clearly, and having a hold on me, but it's weakening because I'm in those moments consciously doing what I can to fight back if I can't use my hands or call on the elements or anything. So, yeah, I've also watched videos of just talking, how, for we all have a soulmate. If you're a carbonated being, and for every goddess, there's a god out there for you. For every god, there's a goddess out there for you. And our ancestors were not moving in that specific way anciently. Before we fell in frequency, none of them were moving that way. I think I remembered my point is that my soul has also said when I was really confused and thinking I wanted to transition just because I was hearing so much transgenderism noise. And nothing wrong with transgenderism in the sense of if that's how you want to live your life. I'm not docking it, but it heavily influenced me to the point where I was questioning, and I'm happy I didn't. My soul ended up saying that night, masculine inside, feminine outside. And I think this speaks to two things. It's okay for you to express yourself femininely if you want to in regards to materialistic objects like earrings during the time, makeup, but you have been and you always will be divine masculine. The dark matter energy inside of my avatar, inside of my body, came second. I will never, not then, not now, be a goddess, because the goddess's energy came first. They manifested themselves. The only reason I am here is because they then manifested and brought about, created the gods. That's it. They created themselves from source divine energy, if you want to say God from God. And then they created us. And then we created the rest of the stuff in the galaxy, in these realms, in these planets. So that's the deeper meaning, I believe, of what my soul was saying to me. Divine, masculine inside, feminine outside. I currently am, and I always will be that divine, masculine, dark matter energy filled spirit and soul. That is not going to change. So, do what makes you happy if it doesn't hurt you. But it definitely gave me more clarity in that moment of not needing, to do this pretty dangerous surgery in order to give myself what I believe I was lacking at the time in this moment of confusion. And I do, so adding that into it, believe, I'll say, I know with me, I have been heavily influenced in the astrals that has affected me down here in how I move. I never had a crush on another boy in elementary school. I was thinking about the adult men, and that is because of the stuff that I have seen in the astrals, from it being from, my Rothschild father to other people that he works with, other people that I've seen in my life that are his friends here in the physical, doing inappropriate shit, excuse my language, to my astral body that falls under this category, and then manipulating my chakras irregularly, is to keep, I will say, me with my soul off balance. I am not supposed to be moving that way. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. And the more, as each day passes, the sun gets hotter and the Kundalini energy rises, I'm just being pulled out of these spells more and more and more and more and more. I'm not saying that I'm not being affected, period, because Lord, I know they are working. They are working to suppress me. But I did just want to make this message and share my thoughts on homosexuality. Again, I don't believe I'm some anomaly. I do believe this is the case for all of us. And why homosexuality and transgenderism has been so unbelievably heavily pushed in the media, and there's been this ginormous cultural shift in regards to acceptance. I know it wasn't really that accepted when I was living in Kenya in 2016, came to the States. Obviously, there's a difference in acceptance and how people move. But 2019 to 2020, ending my junior year in university, 2019, start hearing about non-binary and transgenderism, came back that following year during the fall, and you mean to tell me that now as somebody that is gay, I'm a minority in my class. And I was in theater. Straight people always been the minority. We know this in regards to that space. But you mean to tell me the gay people, we're the minority in that space? Because everybody after the summer came back and was on the transgenderism train. And for me, because there was so much, it just made me start questioning, first my relationship with myself, but how did we go from not even really knowing and having the language to this is being put on syllabuses, and if anyone has something to say, even if it's a respectful question, you're at risk of getting in trouble. So that, I believe, was by design. I'm going to make a video on transgenderism because I do believe it's a deeper part of our cosmic story. But yeah, that's just where I am. Still dealing with the manipulation of my chakras. I heard it before. I now will say that that is 100% real. They are spinning in a way that they should not be spinning. But I think it's going to take you, whoever is listening, and if you relate to this, you being consciously aware and you wanting to return to balance in order for that to have less of an effect on you. It may still have an effect in some way, shape, or form, but it's not going to be the same as when you were completely asleep and unaware that this was going on with your astral as well as physical body. I believe the motivation is to, like, why this was being done to me, is to keep, the Anunnaki gods away from the Anunnaki goddesses. It being one subtle way of, I'm just gonna be honest, separating the black family, the black and Latino family, but I feel it's a little more heightened with the carbonated goddesses and gods who are black. So, but we all gods and goddesses. Whew. Yeah. I just want to say, as always, go within, listen to yourself, listen to your heart. If your angels are speaking to you, listen to your angels, listen to your divine beings, spirit guides, God, goddesses on Xylanthia, whoever may be speaking with you, giving you a divine cosmic download. And yeah, remember that we are literally living through the end times. Not a bad thing. Living through the end times of this corruption. And something beautiful is going to be birthed out of the ashes of the deconstruction and collapse of this illusion. Whew, okay. So yeah, those are my thoughts on homosexuality, and how it relates to me, how it relates to the astrals, which is why I made this video. And hearing, from Rashad Jamal, honestly, how he speaks about how their sex magic ended up dying back in 2022, or it was 2021. I feel I'm now experiencing some of the effects of that just because I'm seeing and experiencing my astral body being manipulated in this way that falls under the category and bubble of, I would say, sex magic. And yeah, I feel I'm to the point where I'm now trailing, so I'm going to end this video. I want to say, if you've made it this far, thank you for watching, thank you for listening. And as always, I send peace, courage, divine cosmic love, and protection to every single nine ether being, Anunnaki goddess, and Anunnaki god who is on their journey of remembering their divinity and remembering who they are.